Hi friends! Today we're going to do a really fun art project that goes along with something you'll be doing in your classroom with your teachers sometime this month. You're going to be writing some poetry or some poems called haiku. Haiku is a form of poetry that started in Japan, so it's Japanese poetry. To go along with your Japanese poetry, we're going to do some Japanese art. And that is, in Japan, there's also a thing called the Cherry Festival because there's so many beautiful cherry trees that have beautiful pink blossoms on them. They have a big celebration every year where everyone goes out and has picnics and looks at the beautiful cherry trees. So to go along with your Japanese poetry, we're going to do some Japanese art. We'll be making a branch from a cherry tree and with these beautiful pink blossoms on it. So let's get to it. Okay friends, for this art project you're going to need a big piece of white paper. This is basically just to keep your table clean because of all the paint we're going to be using. We don't want it to get on our table. So put down your big piece of white paper. Then you're going to need a smaller regular sized piece of white cardstock, which is a little bit heavier paper. We're going to be using watercolors today. Super fun. And you're going to need water. And of course you'll need a paintbrush. And the other secret thing you're going to need is a straw, a plastic straw. So I have a plastic straw right here. So let me take that out of my paper. And later we're going to need some Q-tips, a Q-tip, and we're going to use a little bit of pink paint for the blossoms. But for now, let's do the branch. So in order to do this project, it's a little bit tricky, but I know you guys can do this. So we're going to start with our water. Get some of brown, nice and wet, because you want it kind of runny for this project. Okay, so you have your brown all juicy and wet. So then you're gonna make some dots of brown. I'm making mine come from the side of my paper. And I'm just gonna kind of put them in line like the line of a branch of a tree, like maybe in the direction you want your branch to go. Make sure you do like drops. It's really wet. And maybe I'll put a few more over here, some random places. Okay, then this is the fun part of this project. You are going to take this straw, and I'm gonna turn this paper so I can blow better. And you are going to blow on your paint. You get down low at an angle. You don't touch your paint with the straw. You're just right above the paint. Okay, see how you're blowing your paint to form branches? I'm gonna put a few more over here because I wanna do this branch over here too. You can add a little bit more paint. Make sure if you blow the paint all the way off your page, you have some paper underneath so it doesn't go on your desk. I love the way this is turning out. I want to make a few like little side branches over here. Okay, friends, once you get a really nice branch shape like this one, I think this one looks pretty cool. You have to let it dry before we add the cherry blossoms. So I'm going to set that aside. While it's drying, you could probably just practice blowing. You can use some of your other colors if you want to just make your own creation of straw blowing art. So I'm going to put that away. And then I have one here that I let dry already. So I'm going to add the cherry blossoms to this one. So I don't need my straw for the cherry blossoms. I just need a little dab of pink paint. Just a little bit, like the size of a dime is good. Plenty. All right, so you take a Q-tip, dip it in your paint, and then you just make little blossoms with going around in a circle with your Q-tip. You don't need to dip it every time. Like one dip will do a whole flower. Wherever you want to put your cherry blossoms. You might want to make some that aren't a full flower, that are just a bud, like they haven't bloomed yet. So you might want to just do one on some branches like that. Like it hasn't quite bloomed all the way. Okay, friends, that's your Japanese cherry blossom branch that you made by blowing paint with the straw blowing paint. I hope you guys had a great time making this, and it will be all ready when it's dry. You can take it back to your classroom, and then your teacher's going to help you learn how to write haiku poems that you can add to your picture. See you next time.